All right, it came. It came. Titanium exhaust system. Wow, that weighs nothing. Alrighty. Well, this was my first mistake. This video might end up being more viral than I thought it was going to be. Alrighty. Ah, there she is. What a beauty. Alright. So, yeah. I got this disgusting rug over here that I'm going to set these beautiful parts on. So, I'm, as always, the most OCD person, so I'm going to wear gloves anytime I touch this exhaust. And by the end of this entire series, I guarantee you, I'm going to say fuck that. This is how the Sprint air filter came. It's kind of already open like this, but yeah, I mean, you can't expect anything more these days. Yep, it's an air filter. Definitely not worth what I paid for it, but it is what it is. Just gonna keep this in here for when I inevitably step on it. Alright, this is the real deal. So, I was kind of already fiddling around in here, and this is actually neat. They even sent, Brock's even sent a spring puller, which is really nice, because you'd be in a pickle if you didn't have one of these already. Let's see here. We got, this should be interesting. This is slightly different than videos I've seen on the internets. I thought that these were kind of all welded together. And they're kind of a little heavier. I wonder if these are aluminum. That would be weird. Now, I've seen where the bolts from the factory, the header bolts, are bent for whatever reason from over torquing them from the factory. So I ordered these. I couldn't find like an exact, I forget what they are, like an M12 by 1.25 or something like that. I couldn't find those in a hardware store in stainless steel with the Allen head. So I figured I'd have to order them from Suzuki anyways for like 25 bucks. So I was like, well, screw it. I'm going to order titanium ones. So I ordered these guys online. So we shall see how that goes. I mean, I guess let's just lay this shit out and look at it. Let's see what we got. It is just so crazy how light this stuff is. It's like, it literally feels like it's made out of plastic. It's exactly what it feels like. What I'm going to do, since I'm real OCD, and these are labeled, I'm going to set the corresponding pipe on the corresponding packaging. Alrighty, what's next? So I'm going to leave that in there, I'm going to leave that in there. I'm going to leave these bolts in there that I hope work. And, CT single, secondary collector. Alright. I'm just waiting for a random shit to fall out of here and then not know where it came from. Because it's my luck. If you haven't noticed already, I'm a novice. Novice mechanic, shade tree mechanic, or whatever you call it. Alright. So we have... just like so. Boy, that's a thing of beauty right there, isn't it? Look at those welds. Look at those welds. Did a machine weld this? Well, there's some mistakes. I mean, real minor. Just neat to look at this stuff. Like, how often you get to see, you know, welded titanium exhaust tubing. This is the kind of stuff that, you know, whenever I was a kid, I'd read about and be like, oh my God. You remember Jeremy Clarkson, whenever he reviewed the Porsche Carrera GT, and he went so freaking apeshit over the brakes that were on that car, and he said silicon carbide like a million times. This is the kind of stuff that makes you think about, you know, those days. All right, so we have headers 3 and 4. This knife's cool as shit, by the way. I gotta give props to this. So it's made by Boker. I don't know how to pronounce it properly, but it's a Automat Kalashnikov 74. Freaking awesome knife. And it's not crazy expensive either. It's not like one of those freaking Benchmade deals that are like $250 or whatever the fuck. I think it was like, I want to say it was like 45 bucks, which is not bad for a good pocket knife. Come on out of there. Come on out. Come on out of there. How did this thing ever go in here before? I'm like babying this stuff because I don't know how, like, I don't know anything about it and it feels like plastic. So I'm like, I have no other frame of reference other than to baby the shit out of this stuff. Again, I'm just going to kind of check these welds out. I'm actually doing this on purpose because I want to make sure there's nothing glaring here. No manufacturer defects because it's going to take me months to get another set of these. So here's your headers. Fucking, they weigh ounces, not pounds. All this combined so far probably weighs about the same as a beer can, full one. Freaking wild. All right. Man, that is just so freaking ridiculous. Alrighty. Yep, so that's headers 1 and 2. And so these, it's kind of, I don't know, I almost feel like it's cheating. But instead of like your factory ones that just literally bolt, like they're a one-piece unit and they bolt on directly to the heads, you kind of assemble the pieces that bolt to the cylinder heads. And I don't know. And then you like hook springs up to hold them in place. I mean, I know that's just the way it is, but it feels kind of unnecessary if it was engineered properly. You also have expanding chambers here, I noticed. So that's kind of interesting. So like, you know, this is obviously using as much diameter as possible. This is what goes into the cylinder head right here. So your exhaust gases are coming out and it's using as much diameter as humanly possible, and then it actually expands to a greater volume as quickly as possible, which is real neat. Well, it's almost like a two-stroke, you know what I mean? Where the very, very like minor, not nearly as extreme, but like, you know, the two-stroke exhaust, how they get like massively different. Real smooth. I mean, I've never had a car exhaust with this smooth of transitions. That's fucking insane. All right, so the pièce de résistance, so they say. This is the piece that everyone wants to see, including me. And it's... Oh, there's instructions. But anyhow. So here is the muffler. Look at that. That is a thing of beauty right there. The carbon. I do wish, I mean, Brock's seems to be cool so far. We'll see whenever this is over what I think of them. But I wish they would have a smaller logo or an option to delete it. They have a million options for different colors and things, which is really cool. Really cool. But I wish there was like an option to just not have that and just have this flat titanium piece. You know what I mean? Or, if not, brand it with the type of motorcycle that you have that you're putting this on. Like, how badass would it be to have like the Hayabusa, the Peregrine Falcon logo, I can't remember what it's called. But to have that there instead of the Brock's logo, that would just be epic. Now it looks like somebody got a little overzealous here and kind of maybe, I don't know, clamped this down with the force of 1,000 men, because there's a little bit of a bend now in the titanium, but I think titanium bends fairly easy. It's kind of probably part of the game. And for their quietest exhaust to be this straight through, holy shit. And am I ever excited for that? That right there, friends, is one hell of an exhaust system. And I hope that I don't lose my mind trying to install it. And I hope that I don't find any massive build defects in it. So far, so good. I don't see any issues with the welds. There's like, man, I mean, holy crap. They're like phenomenal. That's why I'm wondering, I don't even know how, this weld here is obviously machine made. And it's really interesting that they do that with titanium pipe. They obviously wrap it around something and then they fuse it together. But this is going to stay in place. So you can see this is actually the same as a Gen 2 Hayabusa exhaust. Like exactly the same. It's the same part number and everything. The difference between the Gen 3 and the Gen 2, everything fits the same, but the Gen 3 has two narrowband O2 sensors in it instead of one. So you can either buy an adapter that just basically, it's like a splitter thing from Brock's that takes the signal from one O2 sensor and splits it into two. Or do what I do, what I'm going to do anyways, and I sent my ECU to More Mafia to be flashed, and they're just going to simply delete the O2 sensors altogether. So what I'm going to do whenever I take the fairings off is I'm actually going to unplug both O2 sensors from the harness completely. And I've been trying to think, like, should I like wrap electrical tape around the plug on the wiring harness to keep water out of it? Like, I'm not really sure what the best bet is. I hate electrical tape wrapped around stuff. It just seems so hokey and like a lazy fix type of situation. So I don't know how I feel about that quite yet. I'll figure something out. Man, these bolts are neat though. I just hope they actually work. I'm not going to say what brand they are yet until I actually use them. Supposedly these are grade 5 titanium, which is slightly stronger than a grade 8.8 metric bolt. And it's, what is it? Is it shear? You guys will have to help me out. Shear strength, or there's another term, but I forget what it is right now. But you also need, and thank you, I'll have to post a link to his YouTube, but thank you for pointing out that these bitches don't slip in to anything unless they have some sort of a lubricant in here, which is, I ordered some high temp copper RTV from, I just picked it up at Advanced Auto Parts on my way back. So anyhow, let me get these fairings off next, I guess, in the next video, see where we're at.